Hey y'all, what's up? We are back at it again. I have another video for y'all with fantastic hip hop and courtesy of today's video. Okay, so we're gonna pretty much react to these streamers. These streamers have been going crazy. Okay, if y'all been on X or Twitter, they're going at the artist Doechii. Oh my God. The disgusting, vile stuff they saying about this woman is it's crazy. They already going at my fave Kendrick Lamar, the GOAT. And so they pretty much going at everybody right now. Every black woman that's out, they want to open their mouth and they got something to say. So we're gonna check out these video. We're gonna check out the clips, and we're gonna discuss. Let's get it.
We get into packing out one of the most annoying and insufferable people out there today. Be sure to leave a like before we even start this to let me know that you don't like Adin Ross and are just as tired of him as I am. And now with that said, when it comes to Adin Ross, right now with the streaming world's least favorite chair sniffer and generational grip,
This dude, Adin Ross, got the nerve to call Doechii unintelligent and a stupid the B word, calling her out her name because there was this one clip, one video going around during the Met Gala. I guess Doechii raised her voice on her team. I guess a lot of stress was going on. It was a chaotic night. She wanted an umbrella, a couple umbrellas to cover her outfit before the big reveal. You know how these people are. They pay a lot of money and the brands want a grand reveal. So I guess before she got to the show or the main event, paparazzi was pretty much everywhere and she wanted to cover her outfit and she wanted umbrellas. So Doechii was kind of yelling and raising her voice like, give me a effing umbrella. Where's my umbrella? I guess that went kind of viral. And this dude, this streamer, Adin, felt the need to be like, to call her out her name and pretty much saying how disgusting she is or how disgusting he is of that video. She feels untitled in calling her uneducated pretty much. And she's an industry plant. So this rumor been going around on Doechii's name, how she's a plant. She was planted by UMG or TDE. They forcing her down our throats. Oh my God, it's so much chaos going on. They're trying to, I guess because from what I can see, Kendrick Lamar had shouted out Doechii a couple of months back when she first came on the scene and her name was buzzing out and he was like, she's the hardest out. And based on that, because she's affiliated and signed to TDE, which was Kendrick Lamar's previous label, he's now with PG Lane, his own label with Dave Free. So everyone, the Drake crew, the Ovi Hoes, the Barbs, everyone that's kind of against Kendrick and his team in the West Coast pretty much is getting on Doechii now. So there's all these things about her. And I'm going on and on. Let me stop. Let's go ahead and continue. But this dude right here, along with academics, needs to be canceled ASAP. Well, let's go.
Adin really went so far that all of hip hop is stepping in and collectively doing the work to make sure that this vulture can never speak this loud on the genre again. And now with this, there is no longer anywhere to hide for Adin Ross because with the entire world of hip hop staring him down, when you really start to see what's going on and what the grift is. You will see just how terrible this guy is for hip-hop and how he has been a part of a targeted effort to try and sabotage and ruin the name and reputation of Doechii. And now before we go
Of course, he's linked to Drake, obviously.
any further into all of this, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe while you're at it so everyone can see why Adin Ross is one of the worst things that has ever happened to rap music and why his career is about to go up when all of this is exposed. And so now with that said, when it comes to Adin Ross and the controversy he is in, well, every single problem he just created and what is forever going to change his perception in all of hip-hop and not just on the side that already hated him, all comes from the moment that when asked to talk about Doechii on one of his awful streams, Adin went viral for crashing out and saying this.
I've been streaming for like a long time now. Doechii, the umbrella clip me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit he is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece. She stole someone like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. Jake Future, what's up, my dog?
How dare he? Did y'all hear that? She's unintelligent. How dare he?
Doechii, okay? She has zero talent.
And I mean, when you watch this crash out, with Adin's specific words, what an entitled, unintelligent piece of she is, and with him also saying she has zero talent literally being heard everywhere. Well, first off, I think Adin needs to look in the mirror because it really sounds like he is describing himself here when he is saying that somebody is entitled.
Exactly. Describing himself to the T.
Unintelligent and a piece of something, and while it's one thing to say that you don't like somebody as an artist or for whatever thing that they do professionally is, and really in Adin's case, even if it was harsh, he could have said that he didn't like her music, because although it just would have ended up being another trash hip-hop take that he made, I mean, we are allowed to critique and criticize things, but obviously with what Adin said, it just goes beyond all that. Because when you hear the hatred and almost disgust that's in his voice when he is talking about Doechii, and even with how bad the words we hear him used were, it sounds like he wanted to say some other stuff too, which would even be more off-putting and would have definitely caused him to be canceled forever. Altogether, with how personal and below the belt these insults go, with the names that Adin is calling Doechii or any other person for that matter, he crosses a line and does it bad, because this is not music criticism or any sort of critique of art or her as a rapper. And it's just something so beyond that, because really with what he said, you would think that Doechii would have done something horrible to him, because regular people don't talk this bad about somebody without a purpose and without actually having any sort of real animosity.
I think Drake is behind this. That's the only thing that could make sense, right? Because what have Doechii done to him? What horrible things have she done to deserve this disrespect?
Between them, and with this, of course everybody saw this clip as it went absolutely viral, because aside from the weird group of grifter loving individuals whose favorite people are Adin Ross, Drake, and that set of brothers that Adin sniffed one of their chairs actually, for the rest of everybody who's definitely checked into reality, everyone saw this clip and just wrote off Adin Ross more than they ever have, because you can just see with this so clearly, and really more than ever, that somebody has never belonged further away from having the ability to speak about hip-hop, because if you have any respect for rap music, you just wouldn't say that she has zero talent, and you would never use that tone and words that Adin did right here. But really right now, with all the outrage, well, everybody is busy yelling at Adin and trying to just push him further and further away from hip-hop culture. What a lot of people are missing is that when you think about all of this and think about the tone and demeanor that Adin used here, if you think beyond the surface and remember who this guy really is, and specifically what I mean by that, who he literally was on the phone with the night before this happened on his stream. Well, really, just like all of these grifting streamers who are just the worst thing that we have in the content space today, no matter where you try to go, all roads lead back to one person who is the root of why they are the way they are, unfortunately, and why they have this disdain for actual hip-hop culture and artistry. And it's not just that Aiden's a clown and that's that, but it's that beyond that clown that we all see, there is somebody who is making him run the entire circus, and that is none other than Drake. And as we know, Drake...
What I told you, it has to be Drake. Who else? He is a Drake mouthpiece, just like academics. These streamers are Drake mouthpiece. You might as well say Drake is a streamer right now, right? He's always on these platforms. He's always hanging with Adin Ross. He's always doing something, either calling in or making a comment under their streams. He's always with them. So of course he is about Drake. Drake hates Kendrick since he can't come at Kendrick directly. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna attack everybody around Kendrick or that's associated with Kendrick Lamar or the TDE camp. Everybody, anybody's gonna get it. He don't care because he don't know what else to do. He can't come at Kendrick. He don't want that smoke.
Aiden are good friends, and Drake wishes him happy birthdays publicly because he likes him so much, and Drake thinks that that's a normal and cool thing to do at this point where he's at. And of course, these two have done multiple streams together where we have seen them buddy-buddy, and they really do seem to talk pretty often because they're always appearing on one another's things. I mean, when you look at it like that, of course Aiden is not gonna like somebody who was winning so much during the time where Drake said that rap was in a weird NBA season directly to him when they were on stream for the Drizmas event. And I mean, beyond just winning, when Drake was saying that rap was weird and it was ruined from Kendrick Lamar, and really that's still what they're saying, and that's still why they're doing this. Speaking of Kendrick Lamar, as Doechii is signed to none other than Top Dawg Entertainment, which is of course where Kendrick and even SZA are from. From Adin Ross, academics, to XQC, to all of these other clowns who love these people, who grift hip-hop culture and look up to Drake like he is Tupac. The disgust they have for Doechii is a direct result of that, and really if Doechii was not signed to the label that Kendrick Lamar is from, and that is winning the entire music industry over right now with everything they are doing, and it's not stopping anytime soon, clearly. I mean, if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't see all these pages and people who conveniently have ties to Drake and who have supported him no matter what, and are really gonna go down with him if that has to happen. Go after this new artist who is becoming a star and who is winning and having a bigger rise than ever with the help of the label that also helped Kendrick, SZA, and her all get to the point where they are at this very moment. And with Adin Ross, this is what's so weird about this all, because really with these thoughts about Doechii, Drake and him must have had a lot of conversations behind the scenes, and Drake really must feel away and be bothered about her. Because between both the talking points that Adin Ross is using to discredit her, which we could say have came from somebody like academics because that's all he does, and then with the animosity that we hear in his voice, which is so personal. I mean, overall, Adin is pushing all of the narratives that have tried to be used by Team Drake to go against Kendrick, and then of course try to trick these people who are not rap fans but Drake stans into believing that Kendrick Lamar is the worst thing ever that's happened to hip-hop, and that...
Exactly. Drake mouthpiece. And SZA. SZA is on tour with Kendrick Lamar, and Drake can't stand it. He cannot stand that she's by his side. You know, they had their little thing, their little fling back in the day. And they got a couple of records together. So her being with Kendrick and being successful together on this tour is killing Drake. He can't take it. So anything to discredit their run, he's gonna try to do it.
Drake is the hero. And I mean, when it comes to this effort and campaign that has been designed by what I am gonna call Drake's Legion of Lame to try and make sure that Kendrick Lamar and his side of hip-hop does not gain any more wins and break out any more stars, this is where the entire narrative of Doechii being an industry plan came from, because first of all, in the entire music industry, not just has there been so many actual industry plans who have come out recently, who Drake has collabed with even and hyped up himself, and who Adin has even streamed or collabed with in some way on his own, And beyond just that, who nobody else ever said anything about because they never noticed or thought this because Academics TV was not yelling at them every day in their face about it. But with Doechii, if we actually want to look at her career, she had a platinum record in 2022 and was big then and already did a tour opening up for Doja Cat way before all of this stuff and when she was just a rising star with a few big records. And back then, before she was connected to Kendrick Lamar and this beef happened, nobody ever said a thing about her. But now, because she is signed to Top Dog Entertainment and we are in an era where anyone close to them and Kendrick will get hated on because this other side of hip-hop and people have nothing else to try and take down these artists with other than just ridiculous campaigns that are geared.
Well, I told you, anything that's linked to Kendrick. Anything that's linked to Kendrick. She been had her run back in the day. What it is, that's a huge record. To be honest, myself, I knew that song and I liked that song. I just never knew it was Doechii that sang that song. And when she dropped her mixtape, back then, y'all can even look at my my previous videos. I was like, damn, I like her records. I like her mixtape. You know, I'm gonna check her out, and I've been fucking with Doechii since she dropped that mixtape. She's the only one to pretty much, to be honest, of all the girls that's out, I love me some Meg. I love Cardi B and them. But Doechii actually, she can rap, she can sing, she can perform. She has talent. So she can keep up with her own amongst the other girlies that's out there. So for Drake to try to discredit her in this campaign about she's a what's the word I'm looking for now? She's a plant, an industry plant. I can't even remember because it's so absurd, right? So she's an industry plant. She's like a Ice Spice type of artist. Lotto. Well, some people like Lotto. I mean, they think she can rap. But Ice Spice and them, Sexy Red and them. You mean to tell me Sexy Red is better than Doechii? I'm sorry. I cannot listen to Sexy Red. Me personally, it's just me personally. Y'all can feel a certain way, but me personally, Sexy Red is not somebody I listen to about the vile and nasty stuff that she talks about. She's just not my cup of tea. And that's okay. I'm not going to bash her, but she's just not my cup of tea. Anyway.
At the most random and obscure things they could possibly get at. I mean, with all of this, they have decided to try and label Doechii as an industry plant and ignore not just years and years of hard work, because even with her most recent hit, which Aiden says he doesn't like, that song was made 5 years ago and just happened to blow up, so she put it out now. But even if we go back to 2024, if we look at what Doechii has done to get to this point, she has just put the work in to be on the verge of superstardom, because with her debut mixtape on TDE selling 11K first week, and now with it being one of the top 5 highest performing albums of this year, and it being one of the most streamed albums in rap period, and it has multiple massive songs that are still on the Billboard Hot 100.
She killing it. Look at that. Look at those. Look at the names that she's surrounded by. Look at the names. Kendrick Lamar. Look at Tyler. Look at the name. Cardi. She's surrounded by these huge artists. She's doing her damn thing. Give her props.
After all of this time. I mean, if you just look at where Doechii was at when her record dropped on TDE and where she is at now, she has only been able to make this record get Grammy-winning and high mainstream success with hard work that was done by delivering great performances, whether it was a Tiny Desk, a music festival like Camp Flog Gnaw, or something else, or it was just actually pushing and expanding the universe of what she built more and more by releasing great music videos to complete her art like we saw with Denial Is a River. And again, now, while hip-hop has seen all of this hard work and it has led to Doechii getting cosigns from people like Tyler, the Creator, and Kendrick Lamar, who called her their favorite rappers and the hardest rapper out, and even beyond just them, legends like Lauryn Hill brought her out on stage, for these weirdos who don't like rap and just want to be these weird career-long grifters, chair sniffers, and whatever we even call Drake now, they won't acknowledge the actual work and story that has happened because they don't actually like reality and they only like making up their own narratives, and they're going to act like none of this ever happened, because then, It does not fit the narratives that they have been pushing to take this artist down simply because they don't like her because of her rise and who she stands in the way of, which is of course the guy that Aiden makes the worst duo with in none other than Drake. Now with Aiden doubling down on his comments about Doechii in another awful clip, I mean, with him trying to call out this video of her with the umbrellas at the Met Gala and say that he is doing this because he respects 9-to-5 workers, this is what it really takes to be the grifter that Aiden is, because he is just deflecting to try and get people to think that he is right here and that he is standing with them, when in reality, while the Doechii clip with the umbrellas does not look the best, and I mean even everybody has already made fun of that, including Doechii herself. First off, the people who were helping Doechii were all from her team, and I am sure understand how to work with her, and with an event like this, judge somebody by just that would not be fair, especially when every other time we have seen Doechii, she has had the utmost professionalism and really seems like a great person. And even if this...
She really does. She's always smiling. She has a beautiful smile. She's always extra nice. She's always pleasant when she talks. So I know she, you know, people have their days. You know, like I said before, it's a hectic situation. It's the Met Gala. Everybody's out and about. Attention rises and, you know, whatever. It wasn't the best look. But then again, it's like, it was her team. It's her people. You know, they probably talk to her like this. And she talks to them like that as well. So it's not, I don't think she meant any harm. And I doubt Aiden cared about a 9-to-5, to be honest.
Video was bad, Aiden's reaction still does not match up with what happened in the first place, and even with the grift he is trying to use to cover this all up, there is still something that is just so disturbing about these comments, which are going to be remembered by everyone who is rooting for hip-hop and Doechii, because she is more talented than not just somebody like Aiden, but most new rappers, period. And so overall, what everyone needs to see is that all of this fake outrage over Doechii has been a planted lie to try and ruin one of the most exciting new artists that we have seen in hip-hop in quite a while. And now maybe for Aiden, Drake, and the rest of these guys, if they were a little smarter, maybe this plan would work. But Aiden just ruining his reputation to any remaining hip-hop heads with what he just did by going so overboard and showing that he is doing all of this to try and give the world more of this, in terms of ever having any sort of merit or respect in hip-hop. Again, while those weird fans are always going to follow him, to actually be respected in this space that you keep trying to assert yourself as a voice in, that's all over. And for Aiden,
I don't even know why he has a voice in the first place. Why does a person like him has a voice in hip-hop? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all. We let these people in, invite them in, and they just spew nonsense. Okay, we're going to stop right here, guys, but go ahead and check him out, Fantastic Hip Hop. He does a lot of wonderful videos. I love watching his content. So please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and comment as well. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all think Doechii went a little too far with the whole umbrella thing, or bring me a effing umbrella? You think the tension was too high? You think it's, you think it's harmless? Or what y'all think? Comment down below. Until next time. See y'all later.